For all you retro gaming enthusiasts, let's make this 4x4x4 enclosure something that you can share with your jumping spider. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today we're going to be turning this 4x4x4 enclosure, which is actually a food storage container that I acquired from Target. I'm going to turn this into an enclosure for your jumping spider. You can see that it was a bottom opening, and I taped off the sides with blue painter's tape. This is to allow it to come off easily. I used a template to draw out the holes that I want to put on the sides. I only do the two on the sides, so you get the cross ventilation, and I do it on top as well. And I also make sure to include the masking tape on the inside. I will be using this Dremel to be drilling the holes in the enclosure. I have been asked before how to drill the holes into the plastic to avoid any rough edges or preventing cracking of the plastic. I definitely think the blue painter's tape help. I don't know if there's a difference between getting both sides or just one side with the painter's tape. I just stick to doing two, and I don't force the drill bit into the plastic. As I am drilling, I slowly just let the drill go down into the plastic, making the drill kind of do most of the work. And this has been pretty successful for the most part. I'll finish doing both sides for drilling the holes, and then once I am done with that, I will be removing the painter's tape. It is important to get proper ventilation into these enclosures. They really do need the cross ventilation, so that way, while we do mist the enclosures to give them some humidity, some moisture in there, you don't want there to be any issues with molding. So having that cross ventilation across the top, and then I have added the top ventilation just to give it a little bit more, and I've seen pretty good success with that with my own enclosures. Here it is with the tape off. Looks beautiful. Now I'm going to decorate the enclosure. Here I have the reptile safe moss that I acquired from the pet store. It does have the backing on there, so it makes it more of a sheet. I have that cut to size to fit the bottom. I'm just going to use Gorilla Glue hot glue to secure this to the bottom. Once that's secured, now it's time to add all the fun trinkets that give it the personality. So I've got many of these pieces from different hobby stores, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I've also got some from Amazon and Temu and AliExpress, just a variety of places as I find them. To add this cute fencing on the back of the enclosure, I do want to try to size this to where when the enclosure is closed, it does not interfere with the base. So I am sizing this up and trying to find the correct place of where I need to put it. Once I get that, then I will hot glue this to the back of the enclosure. There we go, it fits beautifully. I love adding all this green foliage to the enclosure. Definitely gives it a more natural feel. All the foliage that I use is plastic, or it is a polyester, so there's no concerns of this molding if you're misting the enclosure and it stays too moist. We got this big jar of decorative rocks from Walmart. So I'll pick out some of the colors that I want to put in the enclosure. And again, everything that I am gluing down, I am using the Gorilla Glue hot glue. This is pretty strong hot glue, so it does uphold very well, and it doesn't have as many fumes, or we have to wait as long for curing. Usually if you give it a good 24 hours, 48 hours to cure, you're fine for your spiders being added to the enclosure. Some people like to use E6000, which I at one time definitely did, but that takes longer to cure, and the fumes are pretty strong, which is not good for the spiders. I'm going to hot glue the flowers onto the sides of the enclosure, with this being a bottom opening enclosure, having some of the decorations that you want that are a little bit taller. It's good to have them just secured to the actual main portion of like the lid instead of on the base, because if there's a chance that your spider creates a hammock by those flowers, you don't want to damage the hammock. So having it already just secured to the lid, it'll keep anything that they web up at the top intact. I love adding these mushrooms to all my enclosures, but it just seems even more fitting to add it into enclosure with toad. I'll add a silkworm cocoon up to the top for a hide. These are really cool and very natural feeling to add to the enclosure. Giving it a good test shake to make sure everything is staying intact and that nothing is loose. It looks very good. And we are all finished. Thanks everyone for being able to join me while we decorated this enclosure. I think it turned out pretty darn well. Hopefully you took some lessons learned from this video and you can apply it to your own enclosures. What sort of theme or decoration do you want me to do for our next enclosure? Comment below and let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks everyone.